Hey everyone, happy Sunday. It's the last day of June, unbelievably so. Tomorrow is July 1st, and we have some serious heat to kick off the month of July and to finish up June. Here is today. We have an excessive heat warning in effect from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We have another one tomorrow, same places, same deal tomorrow. Our heat index today can get up to 114 degrees. Tomorrow, much of the same, maybe even a little bit higher tomorrow. So our big story of the next week through the 4th of July and even into Friday and Saturday of next weekend is the heat and the high humidity. So that's going to ramp up this week. Actually, might get a little bit hotter during the second half of this week. Our air temperatures may be increasing. Our rain chances also will be going down because of this upper level ridge of high pressure that heats us up and helps dry us out. I don't think we'll see zero rain, but there is going to be some lower rain chances in our future starting Tuesday and lasting through Friday. And of course, all eyes are on the tropics to see what Hurricane Beryl is going to do. Hurricane Beryl, as of Sunday morning, is a major Category 3 hurricane impressively already. It has rapidly strengthened. So we'll talk more about that later on in this. But first, let's get into the heat. If you will be outside today enjoying your Sunday, or if you have to work outside today, tomorrow, any day this week, take the necessary precautions. Stay cool and hydrated the best way you can. Take the breaks in the shade or the air conditioning, dress appropriately, wear the light, loose fitting clothes, sunscreen, sunglasses, really dressing appropriately and having sun protection is necessary. We have an extreme UV index too, which doesn't help the cause. And of course, don't forget the pets and the kids and make sure they're doing okay. Or even if you have like elderly family or friends, make sure they are doing all right and have a way to stay cool and just kind of check in on everyone as we get into the heat of the summer here. Today's forecast, lots of sun, temperatures in the low to mid 90s. These are our air temperatures. It doesn't seem that bad, but then you factor in the humidity and that's what gets us. And then later today during the afternoon and evening, there is a chance for a few spotty showers and storms. Not really expecting much. Still going to be that hit or miss variety as this ridge of high pressure builds in. Maybe you'll get lucky and see a cooling shower. Here's that heat index this afternoon. Some places may get close to 114 degrees. That's how it will feel when you step outside, maybe up to 108 to 110, but pushing up to the 112, 114 range maybe in a few spots. So it is going to be extremely hot today for sure. And then tomorrow, same thing. That excessive heat warning comes back 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Air temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Mostly sunny skies with maybe a few showers and storms tomorrow in the afternoon. Still the hit or miss type, not a guarantee for everybody. And the heat index tomorrow, similar stuff, 112 to maybe 114, pushing up to maybe 115 in a few areas. Not everyone gets that bad of a heat index, but a lot of us may be under that risk tomorrow. So heat is our big thing today and tomorrow. And then the second thing we'll be watching really closely is what's going on in the tropics. This is Hurricane Beryl, the latest update from this morning. At 7 a.m., it is a major hurricane. So not only the first hurricane of the season, first major hurricane of the season. It's a little unusual to see this strong of a hurricane this east of the Caribbean this early in the season. So pretty remarkable stuff here. Right now, it's producing winds at 115 miles per hour, gusting up to 120, moving west at 21 miles per hour. So it is moving along pretty quickly. Well-defined structure here. I mean, this is like that classic signature look of a hurricane. We got the well-defined center and the eye right there. And it's going to continue to zip west and cause some serious issues, some problems for the southern Lesser Antilles. So if you're in the Caribbean, you have plans there, hopefully you canceled the plans if their plans are tomorrow or Tuesday. But if not, if you have friends and family there, make sure they know they're going to be seeing some serious big impacts from this because it is expected to strengthen to a Category 4 by maybe tomorrow. So either later today or tomorrow could be a Category 4. So they'll be seeing the impacts later today, but especially Monday as a Category 4 storm. And then it's going to continue to move west-northwest through the Caribbean. Should weaken down to a Category 3 when it continues on its westerly, northwesterly track, and maybe down to a Category 2. So that's positive news that it looks like it should be weakening once it gets closer to the Yucatan by Friday. Again, this can still kind of vary up a little bit, but the signs are still indicating that it should weaken a little bit by the mid to second half of this work week. The reason being is we're going to see some enhanced or some slightly stronger wind shear in the Western Caribbean later in the week, and that will help weaken this thing at least slightly. Hopefully that continues to hold. Also, this upper ridge of high pressure that's going to be sitting overhead over the Gulf South, really the southern part of the country over the next week. That's why it's going to be so hot and we'll see lower rain chances, but it will also help direct Beryl and its buddy, another tropical area that's going to be developing behind it, more to the west. So that's what Beryl may look like on Friday. I know it's like kind of this crude circle, but just to get an idea, Beryl, then maybe Chris, another named storm possible right behind it. But either way, this high pressure should help direct this more to the west towards the Yucatan, the Bay of Campeche, and the southwestern Gulf by next weekend. But again, we'll be watching this pattern to see if it does change. But the spaghetti models, the ensemble models, to get a good idea where this is going to go, they're in pretty good agreement that it is going to continue on this track into the Yucatan and the southwestern Gulf and into the Bay of Campeche by next Saturday. Again, this can still change. Some models are not in this perfect agreement, that are a little bit more diverging in different directions, but so far a lot of the big models showing that this is where it's going to go, which would be a good sign. But make sure you're checking back for the latest forecast because things can change. That's something we're really going to be watching closely. Now, I mentioned not only Beryl, but behind it, another area in West 96 is this tropical wave that's been kind of right on its tail. And it looks like this might become our next named storm if things line up, which it looks like they might. It has a high chance for development. Also, we still have Invest 94, southwestern Gulf, expected to move into Mexico by tomorrow. So both areas, or all three areas, pretty impressive to be seeing all this at this early in the season, but this is what we have for you. And getting into the next couple of days, just kind of showing where Beryl will go, and it's kind of buddy right behind it, unfortunately. Another kind of blow to the southern Lesser Antilles expected by midweek. We'll see how much this can strengthen. Might become, again, our next named storm, but this is what's going on in the Caribbean, and this will continue on that west-northwesterly track for later in the week. So we did Alberto, that's done. We checked that off the list. Now we have Beryl. We could see Chris coming right behind Beryl, and then the name after that is Debbie. So busy already getting into the final day of June and the first week of July. So make sure you're checking back for the tropical updates because they will be crucial, especially once it gets into the Caribbean this week. We'll have a better idea of where it's going to eventually end up. So here's your 7-day forecast. Here is the heat. That is our story. Scattered showers and storms today and tomorrow, hit or miss. And then there are those lower rain chances Tuesday through Saturday. A lot of sun, a lot of heat, and muggy humidity, just kind of sultry, uncomfortable weather. Mid to upper 90s every day. 96 on the 4th of July. Good for outdoor celebrations with those lower rain chances, but make sure you don't overheat if you'll be outside for long periods of time for the holiday later this week. So thanks for tuning in. We'll be back for the WWL Louisiana News this evening.